Welcome once again, Mr. Mohan. Now I would like to cover most of the questions from the employer's perspective, okay, about the portal. What is the core offering of
See,
Next?
iAccept as a portal works as a notarizing body, third party notarizing body, which ensures the offer acceptances are all validated. So it acts like a black box, ensuring there is some subtle cooperation between companies, and at the same time, certain things which have to be validated are done by the portal.
What is so unique about
See what happens. Companies, there's a war for talent, so there's a lot of competition between companies. But there are certain areas where companies need to cooperate for the general benefit of the community as a whole. What I mean by the community is the corporate sector itself. Because if every company starts competing what happens is the total costs or the operating cost of the company goes up. So there are areas where even though there is a war for talent, everything is fair. There are areas where, for instance, there are some practices of individuals which if you have to curtail, because at some point of time, if somebody has had a bad history, somebody else discovers it much later, and then again this keeps continuing. So in the interest of the employing community as a whole, this portal ensures that those things are actually, and it ensures that there is some amount of cooperation at that level. It is only to that extent the data sharing is possible.
Can any employer use this service?
Yeah, they need to first sign the code of ethics, which ensures that they will be transparent, they will not trespass on the constitutional rights of individuals, and once that's done, they're ready to sign up and go.
Is it important that all employees have to use the portal for it to be effective?
See, technically speaking, yes, it ideally is that if all employers are subscribing to the portal, it becomes an ideal solution. But it need not be so. Our experience in the last 1.5 years has been that even when a single company uses the portal, because the portal acts like a third party witnessing body. So when somebody takes an offer through the portal, the psychology of the individual comes into play, and he or she believes that once they have accepted something in a public in front of a public witness, so to say, they are far more trustworthy, they honor their commitments, and in case they want to change their decision, they at least communicate back. So even with one company, actually it is good enough for it to run. But ideally speaking, what happens is the efficiency goes through the roof when everyone signs, but it's not really important.
How confidential is the portal service, and what are the security features?
Here, see, the portal service, there are two types of securities we have built in. One is the transaction security, that means whenever there is a communication between the corporate and the database or the portal, the transaction which happens is secure. The database is also encrypted. So it is, as secure as any of your net banking transactions. So it's fully encrypted to the same level of what happens in the net banking. And two, here again, we do not collect any of the personal details of the individuals or even of the companies. Like even the companies making an offer, companies need not disclose their designation, the compensation, or any such thing. So to that extent, it is only ensuring that a transaction has happened and it witnesses that. So it is as confidential as any of these.
What will my competitor? Will my competitor have an access to any information or any data about us?
No. See, what happens is, since this portal is used only for attestation purposes, no other company will be able to see any of the data of any other company. Number one. Number two is, what happens is, just to give an analogy, exactly the bank. You may have multiple accounts in the bank. When you transact with one bank, the other bank, even though you may have an account, the banks wouldn't know.
Correct.
It's as simple as that. So your dashboard at that point of time shows only your transaction with the portal at that time.
Okay. What are the benefits of using the portal for a company?
See, company has a lot of benefits, which we have actually proved also. The hiring efficiency, the conversion ratio from the time an offer is made to the joining, that can straight away increase by 30% straight away. Because and the biggest advantage for a company is that they will be able to predict the number of people who are going to join, how many people might be no-shows or might be last-minute dropouts. See, once you are able to predict this, you are in a better position. So that's the biggest benefit the company gets. And because of that benefit, you are planning down the line in terms of induction programs or whatever you want to do. All that is structured. Yes.
Can a demo version be installed in case
See, there is a possibility for demo version, but understanding from a demo version will be very limited. It is something like a eBay transaction. See, unless there is a buyer and a seller, with a lot of goods available, you cannot really bid for a product. And then and in eBay, unless there are a lot of buyers and sellers, it's a marketplace. So unless that you are able to bid, you will not know how it functions, other than knowing that there is a login screen, the password. So and at the end of the day, what I also advise people is that even as individuals, they can register and see how simple the transactions are. And even though a demo is possible, I would strongly advise that they can actually try it out with 2-3 offers that they make to get a feel. Number one. Number two is the challenge here is not the complexity of the software. The software is absolutely, it's as simple as doing a bank transaction. You just log into your account, you have the amount, you do transfer the amount to X or Y. It's as simple as that. The challenge is how you communicate to a prospective job seeker, how the offer is going to be made and what are they, and that also is very simple. So that is where one has to be transparent and do the whole process.
What are the challenges in implementing?
Yeah, as I just said, the challenge is basically how you communicate and what you communicate. See, this is not something like a punitive portal where you want him to register and then you are going to monitor. You are trying to create an ecosystem wherein even if you as a company might get acquired, might get merged or whatever happens, he still is in a position to take or download his offer letters and things like that. So there is a benefit for him. He need not rely on you for every small detail, number one. Number two, as a company, if you have ethics and value systems, normally what happens is you give an offer which is complete in all respects. So you need to give an offer which has a date of joining and things like that. So there's a lot of benefit for the company when they roll it out, and the credibility of the company saying that they are very transparent, they have ethical systems and values, and that's what the value gets communicated to the prospect.
Okay, what is Vault-on Cloud?
See, Vault-on Cloud is an extension of iAccept, where what happens is, see, at any point of time as the company grows older, many transactions would have happened, people would have left the company and gone. The company might get acquired, the company might get merged with some other company, the name might change. Now at that point of time, what happens to the ex-employees? In terms of, let's say, an ex-employee, his reference has to be checked, or his old, let's say, a letter has to be validated. There's nobody who validates that. So Vault-on Cloud is a place where employers on a real-time basis attest and upload the letter. And just they forget about it. For a job seeker, what happens is at any point of time in his career, he can download the letter, which shows that he was there or working or whatever it was, and it is already certified. So even if the company does not exist, or the company is part of some other big company, there is somebody who authenticates that such a transaction happened, and the fact is true.
Okay, so basically like a go down where.
Yeah, but then the uniqueness of this Vault-on Cloud is the data or the documents which get uploaded are done by the companies. So there is no way where the document can be tampered. Whereas I, as an individual, my documents have been uploaded by my earlier employer. I can only show where it is. I can download it or I can show where it is, but I cannot change it. So to that extent, it is not like a Dropbox or any other place where I keep my documents on the cloud. So it is not that I store it; it is somebody else who has parked it on my behalf, and that is why the sanctity or the validity of the document is maintained.
I hope all the employers' questions have been answered with iAccept. I wish you all the best for this portal, and I wish many of them accept iAccept portal.
In fact, now a lot of companies have started seeing the benefits. What happened, because it's a win-win situation. Actually, this creates a win-win situation if properly implemented and properly understood. And people can. And in fact, there are many other videos also where job seekers have actually express their happiness of how they have benefited, and some of these are, along with this video, they can see it on YouTube, and where they have actually, campus interviews, how they have benefited. Because many times what happens is, even in campus interviews, there are companies which give them the offer and block them from attending other interviews. So to that extent, for a job seeker, there's a lot of benefit in accepting an offer through the portal, and companies also are very sure that the guy with the offer through the portal in the campus, he will come to them, and rather than not show up after it. Because these campus interviews happen literally 1 year before the date of joining. So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.